These are my group mates, Denise Espiritu Santo, Clarice Suarez, and Claire P. Suarez. So, a quick recap lang for Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. We have the background of the study. So, overall, this statement underscores the importance of developing a strong conflict resolution skills to thrive in today's interconnected world, where the ability to manage conflict effectively is essential in maintaining a healthy relationship, achieving academic success, and advancing professionally. Next is, we have the SOP, where we discuss what's the demographic profile of students in terms of their age, their gender, and their year level. We also discuss what's the average level of conflict resolution skills of the ABM and STEM students in terms of view of conflict, the atmosphere, the clarifications of perceptions, needs, power, future options, doables, mutual benefit agreements, and extra considerations. For number 3, the question is there a significant difference among conflict resolution skills of the ABM and STEM students based on their demographic profile? This will be discussed and answered on chapter 3.
So, during the conceptual framework, we study based on two theories proposed by Gordon Thomas in 1974. So, according to Thomas in 1974, they explained that the personal conflict resolution theory, they explained that every single human being has unique abilities in handling conflict. And they also explained that every human possesses unique abilities on how to resolve conflict in the world. And another theory is proposed by Freud and Martin in 1979, which is the conflict curve theory. They explain that conflict goes through warring stages, and they also explain that conflict goes through they also explain how conflict escalates, how it de-escalates, and they also explain how it's so eventually and below that is the independent variable, the demographic profile, which is of age, gender, race, or personality. The dependent variable, which is the conflict resolution skills, which consists of these 10 indicators. For the research design and research participants, the study used a descriptive survey design method, which is according to the personal ability and involves questionnaires, polls, and objectives. And for the study, it has also a sample population of 120 ABM students, both from grade 11 and 12, and 90% STEM students, both from grade 11 and 12. The study also used a cluster random sampling, which requires according to Thomas 2023, it is a sampling technique which a calculation is divided into clusters, which simply means by sections, and then selecting everything of respondents to the questions. So for the data gathering procedures, the study conducted a quantitative research science. So we used a survey questionnaires to gather data from the participants. So first procedure is seeking permission to conduct a study from the principal office and from the Faculty of Physical Education. So after the approval is administration, distribution, and ritual of the research instrument. So the research questionnaire is distributed to grade 11 and 12, STEM, and ABM classes. And after collecting testing is a tabulation and analysis of the data using database statistical tools.
And for data analysis, again, this statistical tool was used to determine the level of conflict resolution skill among ABM and STEM graduate students. The second, frequency. This statistical tool is presented in tables and charts that show how many of your evaluation participants fall into various categories of interest. And lastly, ETAS. It is used to determine the means of ABM and STEM students project conflict resolution skills. And for the demographic profile, so in this table, it shows that cohort variables and their frequencies. In age category, it shows that students that are 18 years old has the highest frequency frequency of 50, which is 42.0%, while in gender category, female has the highest frequency of 66, which is 55.5%. However, in strand category, STEM strand has the highest frequency of 60, which is 55.5. Lastly, in the grade level category, grade 11 has the highest frequency of 60, which is 50.4%.
So from table 2, level of computer learning skills in high school students, the in-year table shows the indicator first. And for the overall mean, it has a average mean of 3.97 with a standard rate of 0.2. And out of all of these indicators, the clarification or selection indicator that the highest or has the highest average mean of 4.16 with a standard deviation of 0.16, and which follows by the lowest average mean, which is the lowest mean has a mean of 3.74 with 0.704 standard deviation. So in table 3, the significance of difference in terms of age, it shows you that the new group has the highest mean square of 3.3 and a overall computed p-value of 0.50, which indicates that there is no significant difference in terms of age. So it means that no matter what the age, 15 to 23, students, there is no
And for the table, as shown here in table of significance of different in terms of gender, male gender has the highest average mean of 4.02 with a standard deviation of 0.437. And as for the p-value, it is higher than 0.05, which means that there is no significant difference in terms of the students' gender.
So for the level of significance and difference in terms of strand, table 5 shows that the ATM strand has the highest mean, which is 4.00, and standard deviation of 0.340, and frequency of 59. Also, the computed p-value is 0.360. So which indicates that there is no significant difference in terms of strand, which means there is no matter what the strand whether it is stem, there is no difference in their computed.
So, as shown in table 6, the grade 12 has the highest mean of 3.98 with a standard deviation of 0.385 and a frequency of 58, also a total of p-value of 0.665, which indicates that there is no significant difference in terms of grade level. Also, for the conclusion, we have concluded that in terms of age, 18 years old have the highest frequency, and most of them are female, with grade 11 leading in terms of grade and STEM in terms of strand. Also, the overall mean level is high, which indicates that senior high school students have good and efficient conflict resolution skills. Also, to answer the number 3 question in SOP, there is no significant difference among the conflict resolution skills of the senior high school students in terms of their age, their gender, their strand, and their grade level.
Okay, I will just provide my comments and feedbacks for the review. First is that I think that somehow there are still need to do the experience production. Same background, particularly emphasizing the problem with regards to analyzing conflict resolution skills, was really the problem on this lab. At sa mga ang problema po dahil tungkol sa kadagatan ng mga bulkan na halo-halo siya, wala na yung connection. As a matter of fact, when I see this part of your paper, I become able to identify what's the problem. If you just directly utilize the word therefore, even though you have other sequence of ideas to be established. So really a problem about analyzing conflict resolution skills. Sa problema na yung nagkasabi. That is why we need to establish very well the problem, particularly in this part, so that klaro siya for us, the leaders, what's really the problem, why we need to study this one. And it is because pagdating ng last paragraph, it is not really clear for us the research gap. You will tell us that the informations are limited from coming to the literature and ultimately the insights garnered from researchers from valid institution. So what's the urgency coming into study this problem? Okay. Next, let's go to the research methods. Denisha, one comment is that if you're talking about analyzing conflict resolution skills, put them in one. Do not just only put the term skills. Kasi ang skills na gusto natin may balahan going into your study. Next, you have stipulated in your research participants, your solving technique is cluster random solving. How do you do cluster random solving?
I'm not sure kung cluster random something o feeling ay ang may talaga nito ang magiging section siya lang ay hindi nga mo isa-isang pa-participants.
So since we're talking about your cluster, nakagroup pa na sila ng strategy sila, di ba kailangan gahapon natin ng out from this chosen cluster, isa din kung ang sa magiging oras at pag-study. So if you will tell me that in your technique, you only have this little idea na kahit kung pinaalak sila sa isang lugar, kung pinagyan lang sila, does it really provide the justification na cluster siya? Okay, kung hindi siya cluster, it's only for the different something. Okay, because if you cluster random something as a something technique, where the population is divided into clusters. And then a random sample of clusters is chosen. May cluster, divided mo, isa nyo tanan. Tapos ka, o mamili mo dito a random lead sa cluster. Pautan na, dibuhan ko ninyo, you will be able to pick random lead. So, kung hindi siya cluster, it's not really cluster at all. And besides, even though mag-cluster random something mo, kailangan na i-emphasize lang ng criteria. So, yung inclusion, so yung exclusion criteria. Okay. That's for the research participants part. Now, at the same time, sa research instrument naman, hindi lang 25-4-3-2-1. Laging mo description. So, ipasabot pag 5, strongly agree. Ipasabot pag 4, pag 3, pag 2, pag no. Okay? Now, aside from that one, your research instrument, what's the average means of validation sa ulo mo? What's the overall? Is it 30.23?